Hello students, today I am explaining about Lorentz transformation. First let us know about what are transformation equation. Transformation equations are the equations which represent the position and time coordinates of the point with respect to one frame of reference in terms of the position and time coordinate with respect to other frame of reference. So this is called as the transformation equations. So let us consider two inertial frame of reference. So you can see in this picture, let us consider two inertial frame of reference S, S dash. So this is S frame and this is S dash frame, and the S is at rest and the frame S dash is moving with the velocity V with respect to the S frame, with respect to the S frame at the instant of time t equals 0. The origin of both S dash are coincide with each other. When it is coincides at time t equals 0, both the origins are the coincides. If the light pulse produced at t equal to 0, we spread out as a growing sphere with a velocity. So after a time t, for an observer at the position O, the light will be reach the point P. At the time t, for an observer at the position O, the light will be reach the point P, which is at a distance r is equal to ct. So which is at the, I already told that uh, when the observer at the point O after time t, the light will be reach the point P at a distance r is equal to c into t. From this figure, we can see that r square should be equal to x square plus y square plus z square, or x square plus y square plus z square should be equal to c square t square. Why? Because r should be equal to ct. R square means c square t square. So take c square t square to LHS. Therefore, this equation becomes x square plus y square plus z square minus c square t square should be equal to 0. Take this is equation number 1. So similarly, for an observer at O dash, we can write it as x dash. Wherever x, y, z, we consider x dash, y dash, z dash, because there are two frames. Therefore, when the observer at O dash, x dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square should be equal to c square t dash square, or similarly takes c square t dash square to LHS. Therefore, x dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square minus c square t dash square should be equal to 0. This is equation number 2, where t dash is the time taken by the light to reach the point P with respect to the observer at O dash. Since there is no motion in the y and z direction, because y is parallel to y dash and z axis is parallel to z dash, therefore y dash is equal to y and z dash is equal to z. Therefore x square, therefore consider only x axis, therefore x square minus c square t square should be equal to x dash square minus c square t dash square. This is equation number 3. The transformation equation relating to x and x dash can be written as x dash should be equal to k into x minus vt. So the transform equation that will be relating the both x and x dash. Therefore, we can write it as x dash is equal to k into x minus vt. Since the equation of physics have the same form in both the s and s dash, therefore we can change the sign of v to write corresponding equation for x. That is, x should be equal to k into x dash plus vt dash. This is equation number 5. So, substitute the value of t is equal to x by c and t dash is equal to x dash by c. Because we know that what is time? Time period is nothing but displacement with respect to displacement divided by velocity. So t is equal to, here the distance is x, velocity is c. Therefore t is equal to x by c. Similarly t dash is equal to x dash by c. Substitute the values of these two in the equation 4 and 5. We get x dash is equal to k into x minus vx by c. X dash is equal to k into x. Take x as x common factor and take it as outside. Therefore kx into 1 minus v by c. Similarly x is equal to kx dash into 1 plus v by c. Multiply the both x and x dash equations. We get, when you multiply these two equations, we get x dash is equal to k into k square, x into x dash. When we multiply these two, we get x dash multiply with x. Therefore k into k square, x into x dash into 1 minus v square by c square. This is of the equation form a plus b into a minus b. Therefore it can be written as 1 minus v square by c square, or k square is equal to x dash divided by x dash into 1 minus v square by c square. So take this term to LHS. Therefore, and rearrange the terms, we get r k is equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Therefore, substitute the value of k in the equation 4. We get x dash is equal to x minus vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. But we know that t dash is equal to x dash by c. Therefore, substitute for x dash. We know that what is x dash? X dash is equal to x minus vt by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So substitute the value of x dash. We get x minus vt divided by c into square root of 1 minus v square by c square, or t dash is equal to x by c minus vt by c whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. But we know that what is t? T is equal to x by c. Therefore, t dash is equal to t minus x by c is what? T. T minus v into, what is t? X by c. Therefore, vx divided by c into c is c square whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So, thus, Lorentz transformation equations for the space and time coordinates. So, R, we can write it as x dash is equal to x minus vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Y dash is equal to y, z dash is equal to z. That means there is, I already told that this will be along y and z direction. There is no motion, only motion along the x direction. Therefore, y is parallel to y dash, z is parallel to z dash. Therefore, y dash is equal to y, z dash is equal to z, and t dash is equal to t minus vx by c square whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So, these four equations are called as the Lorentz transformation equations. Next, the most important derivation, Lorentz contraction, or it is also known as length contraction. So in the examination, they ask derive the expression for the length contraction or derive the expression for the Laurent contraction. So first let us know about what you mean by length contraction. For a stationary observer, the length of the moving rod appear to decrease in the direction of its motion is called as the length contraction. That means let us consider one observer is at rest, then the rod will be moving. So the length of the rod will be same. There is no change in the length. But according to the stationary observer, the moving rod should be they appear to be decrease in the length wherever the at what direction the rod will be moving, the length of the rod should be decreases according to the stationary observer, but actually the length will be constant. There is no change in the length. So this is called as the length contraction. So next let us know about what you mean by proper length and relativistic length. So the length of the object in the rest frame is called as the proper length. The length of an object in the rest frame is called as the proper length. The length of an object in its moving frame is called as the relativistic length. If any length of the object in the moving frame is called as the relativistic length. So let us consider two frames of reference S, S dash. So let us consider two frame of reference S, S dash with the common x-axis. So this is common for both the frames. This is x, x dash, and also this is z, z dash, y, y dash. The frame S is at rest and S dash is moving with the velocity v. So let us consider this is the rod. So this is the rod of length A, B. So consider this is the rod. So the distance between these two is x1 dash and this will be x2 dash, and from S to this will be x1 and from x2 total will be x2. So this is the two inertial frame with the common x-axis and y and z will be parallel. The frame S is at rest and S dash is moving with the velocity v. So consider AB is a rod. It should be placed parallel to the x-axis which is at rest with respect to S dash. The rod will be at rest with respect to S dash and the rod will be moving with respect to velocity v. Why? Because the frame S is at rest but S dash is moving with the velocity v. But the length of the rod will be the constant and the rod will be is at rest according to or with respect to S dash. It is moving with the velocity v with respect to S. Therefore, let x1 dash and x2 dash are the coordinates of the ends of the rod at any instant of time in S dash. Then the proper length is given by L0 is called as the proper length. L0 is equal to x2 dash minus x1 dash. So we know that S is at rest and S dash is moving with the velocity v. But the rod will be is at rest with respect to S dash. But according to S frame, the rod will be moving. X1 dash, X2 dash are the coordinates of the ends of the rod at any instant of time t. Then the proper length is L0. Therefore, L0 is equal to X2 dash minus X1 dash. This is equation 1. Since the rod is at rest in the frame S dash, similarly, let x1 and x2 are the coordinates of ends of the rod at the same instant of time in S frame. Then the relativistic length is given by the L is called as the relativistic length. Therefore, small l is equal to x2 minus x1. This is equation 2. Similarly, we can write it as L is equal to x2 minus x1. But we know that according to Laurent transformation equation, we know that we already derived the Laurent transformation equation x dash is equal to x minus vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. In this there are two cases. Therefore, similarly, it can be written as, that is, x1 dash should be equal to x1 minus vt whole divided by 1 minus v square by c square, and x2 dash is equal to x2 minus vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So wherever x dash, it becomes two cases, x1 dash and x2 dash, and wherever x, write x1 x2. Therefore we know that what is L0? L0 is the proper length. L0 is equal to, we know that, x2 dash minus x1 dash. Therefore, substitute for L0 is equal to x2 dash minus x1 dash. Therefore, we get L0 is equal to x2 minus vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square c square minus x1 minus vt whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square c square. So, in this, the square root of 1 minus v square by c square is the common factor, and we simplify, we get L0 is equal to x2 minus vt minus x1 plus vt. Square root of 1 minus v square c square is the common factor. Take LCM is the common factor, which is equal to, we know that this is minus vt plus vt get cancels with each other. What is the remaining terms? x2 minus x1 whole divided by 1 minus v square by c square. But we know that what is x2 minus x1? We know that the L should be equal to what? x2 minus x1. What is L? A small letter L is called as the relativistic length. So relativistic length L is equal to x2 minus x1. Therefore, x2 minus x1 is nothing but what? Relativistic length L. Therefore, that is L0 is equal to L divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square, or L is equal to L0 into square root of 1 minus v square by c square. This gives the expression for the, what is small l? Relativistic length, and this gives the expression for the what? This is L0 is proper length. So this is the expression for the proper length, and this is the expression for the relativistic length. So when this formula is very important, because the problems will be given on the basis of this proper length and the relativistic length. So let us consider when the rod will be is at rest, that is, v should be is equal to 0. Then when v is 0, what happens? L should be equal to L0. When the rod is in motion, then equation square root of 1 minus v square by c square, this term will be very much less than 1. Therefore, L will be less than L0. Thus, the relativistic length of the rod is always less than the proper length. So, therefore, we know that the relativistic length of the rod will be always less than the proper length. When V is equal to C, we know that when V is equal to C means L should be equal to 0. What is L? L is nothing but, what do you mean by small letter L? Small letter L represents the relativistic length. L naught represents the proper length. So this gives the expression for the relativistic length and the proper length. So this is about the Lorentz contraction, or it is also called as the length contraction. Next one is time dilation. So this is also very important for the examination. So in the examination ask, derive the expression for the time dilation. So first let us know about what you mean by time dilation. So for an observer, a clock which is in motion goes slower than a clock which is at rest. Once again, for an observer, a clock which is in motion goes slower than the clock which is at rest. This phenomenon is called as the time dilation. So, for an observer, the moving or the clock is in motion, it should be slower than when the clock is in at rest frame. So, let us know about what you mean by proper time and relativistic time. The time interval between two events measured by an observer in a frame of reference with respect to which the place of event is at rest is called as the proper time. When the time interval between the two events measured by an observer in a frame of reference with respect to which the place of event is at rest is called as the proper time. So what do you mean by relativistic time? The time interval between two events measured by an observer in a frame of reference with respect to which the place of events is in motion. It is very important. The place of event should be in motion. Then it is called as the relativistic time. So let us consider two inertial frame of reference S dash. The frame S is at rest and S dash is moving with the velocity V in the positive x direction. So we know that, let us consider two frame of reference S dash. The frame S is at rest and S dash is moving with the velocity V along the positive x direction. So this is the one clock and this is the another clock. Let a clock C is fixed to S frame and the clock C dash is fixed to S dash frame. So let P be a point which is at rest with respect to S dash and moving with the velocity V with respect to S. The distance between x dash of the point from the S and S dash respectively. It is very important to note that x will change but x dash remains constant with respect to the time. Therefore, we know that the Lorentz transformation equation, four equations, that means x is equal to x. We know that x is equal to the x dash is equal to x minus vt by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Y dash is equal to y. Z dash is equal to z. And we know that t is equal to what is the Lorentz transformation equation? T should be equal to t dash is plus vx dash divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So our t should be equal to t dash plus x dash v divided by c square whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So in this there are two clocks, that means there are two times. Therefore we can write it as two expression, that means Similarly, wherever t, write t1 and t2. And t dash will be written as t1 dash, t2 dash. But x dash is constant, therefore vx dash divided by c square, vx dash by c square. So, and also this will be same, square root of 1 minus v square by c square, square root of 1. That means t1 is equal to t1 dash plus vx dash by c square whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square, and t2 is equal to t2 dash plus vx dash by c square whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Thus, we know that T2 minus T1. Just subtract T2 minus T1. When T2 minus T1 means T2 minus T1. Therefore, T2 minus T1 is T2 dash plus Vx dash by C square whole divided by square root of 1 minus V square by C square minus T1 dash plus Vx dash by C square whole divided by 1 minus v square by c square. Therefore, if we simplify, we get t2 dash minus t1 dash whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Therefore, we know that delta t naught is gives the proper time, delta t gives the relativistic time. Therefore, the proper time delta t naught should be equal to t2 dash minus t1 dash. This will be gives the proper time. This will measured by the clock c dash, and delta t should be equal to t2 minus t1. This is the relativistic time. This gives the relativistic time and it should be measured by the clock c. Therefore, delta t is equal to delta t naught divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So, this is the relation between relativistic time and proper time. So, in the examination, they ask derive the relation between relativistic time and proper time. So, this gives the relation between relativistic time and the proper time. So, relativistic time should be denoted by delta t and proper time is denoted by delta t naught. So in this equation, t2 dash minus t1 dash. So, this is take it as delta t naught and square root of 1 minus v square by c square, and therefore delta t is equal to delta t naught divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So, this is about the time dilation. So, in this class, I am explaining about Laurent transformation equations and as well as length contraction and time dilation. So, this is very important for the examination, and also the problems will be asked on the basis of the on the basis of both the time dilation as well as the length contraction. So, next consider some problems. Consider one problem. In a Michelson-Morley experiment, the optical path of each beam was 11 meter. So, the optical path of the each beam was 11 meter, and the wavelength of the light used was 550 nanometer. Assuming the V by C to be 10 to the power minus 4. Calculate the fringe shift. We have to calculate what? Fringe shift that should be expected if the ether existed. So, in this problem, we have to calculate the fringe shift. So, first write the given data. Whatever the data will be given in the data will be given in this problem. First write given, lambda should be given. Lambda, what is the value of lambda? Lambda is equal to 550 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Nano means 10 power minus 9. And one more thing, v by c is nothing but 10 to the power minus 4. And one more thing will be at a distance, what? It will be 11-meter distance. Therefore, D should be equal to 11 meter. So, we have to find out what the fringe shift. We know that the expression for fringe shift, n should be equal to 2dv square divided by lambda c square, or it can be written as 2d by lambda into v square by c square. Why? Because just rearrange the terms means in this problem they given the value of v by c. Therefore, just rearrange the terms. But substitute for d. What is the value of d? D is 11. 2 into 11 divided by lambda. What is the value of lambda? 550 into 10 to the power minus 9. V by c. V by c is, what is the value? 10 to the power minus 4 square. If we substitute and simplify, we get the value of fringe shift n should be equal to 0.4 fringes. So, this is the fringe shift value. N should be equal to 0.4 fringes. So, usually the problem carry 4 marks. One is one mark for the formula and 1 mark for the substitution, and another 2 mark for the calculation and the answer with SI unit. This is very important. Consider another problem. Calculate the length of meter rod in a frame moving with the velocity 0.5 times c. C means velocity of light. That means is moving with the velocity of 0.5 times the velocity of light relative to the rod. So, we have to find out what is the length of the meter rod. So, first write the given data. What are the given data? Given L0 should be 1 meter. V is velocity will be 0.5 times the velocity of light, and we have to calculate the length of the rod. So, I already told that what is L, what is a small letter L. What small letter L is nothing but the relativistic length. L0 is the proper length. So, in this problem, L0 proper length will be given. The length of the rod will be constant. The constant length is nothing but the proper length. So, proper length will be L0. So, we have to find out the relativistic length. That means it is moving with the such frame. Therefore, we have to calculate L. So, we know that the formula, what is the formula? L is equal to L0 into square root of 1 minus V square by C square. So, substitute the value of L0. What is L0? 1 meter rod. That means 1 into square root of 1 minus V square by C square. 1. This is the proper length L1. Square root of 1 into V square. What is the value of V? V is nothing but 0.5 times C. Therefore, 0.5 into C square. Therefore, V is 0.5 C. V square means 0.5 C whole square divided by C square. So, C square get cancels. What is the remaining? 0.5 whole square. So, 0.5 square is nothing but 0.25. So, L is equal to 1 into square root of 1 minus 0.25. Therefore, we get the value of L is 0.866 meter. So, the SI unit for length is meter. Therefore, L is equal to 0.866 meter. So, this gives the value of the relativistic length. Consider the next problem. A wristwatch keeps correct time on Earth. A wristwatch keeps correct time on the Earth. If it is owned by the pilot of the spaceship, leaving the Earth with a constant velocity of 10 to the power 7 meter per second, how many seconds does it appear to lose in one day with respect to the observer and the earth. So, a wristwatch keeps the correct time on the earth if it is worn by the pilot and a spaceship having the leaving the earth with a velocity of 10 to the power 7 meter per second. How many seconds does it appear to lose in one day with respect to the observer on the earth? So, in this problem, we have to calculate what we have to calculate the how many seconds does it appear to lose in one day. So, we know that delta t represents the relativistic time and delta t naught represents the proper time, or it is also written as T naught is nothing but the proper time. T will be relativistic time. So, first write the given data given in this problem. In this problem, they given the velocity 10 power 7 meter per second. The time will be 1 day. The time, the day, that means they given the value of time is nothing but 1 day. Therefore, t is equal to 1 day. It should be converted into seconds. Therefore, we get t is equal to 86,400 seconds. But we know that the relation between proper time and relativistic time, t naught is equal to t into square root of 1 minus v square by c square. We know the value of t is 86,400 seconds, and we know the value of v is 10 power 7 whole square, and c we know that the constant of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8. Therefore 3 into 10 to the power 8 square. If we substitute and simplify, we get the t naught is equal to 86,352 seconds. But in this problem, we have to find out how many seconds it should be appear to lose in 1 day. So with respect to observe, how many seconds? Therefore, just t minus t naught. So subtract t minus t naught. Substitute for t. We know that already what is the value of t? T is equal to 86,400. We can calculate the proper time. Proper time, the T naught is equal to 86,352. If we subtract, we get T minus T naught is equal to 48 seconds. So this is this seconds will be appear to lose in 1 day. So this is very important problems. The problems will be given on the basis of the length contraction, length contraction, time dilation, and also this is very important Michelson-Morley experiment. So this is all about the special theory of relativity. Thank you.